Alright, good evening, folks. Tonight, we're going to talk about Notre Dame. And did Notre Dame deserve what they got, or do you think they were snubbed? This is a very hot debate right now. Now, there's two sides to this, so let's all try to figure this out together, why don't we? And does Alabama deserve to be in? I mean, there's a lot we can argue with this. I mean, we could argue multiple points here. I mean, if we really want to get down to the nitty gritty on everything here, okay, Indiana, perfect. Ohio State, perfect. Texas Tech, perfect. Georgia, perfect. But now we go to the eye test. Miami versus Notre Dame. Miami beat Notre Dame earlier in the season. 27-24. I actually watched that at my girlfriend's cousin's place when I was at her family reunion earlier this year. And that was a pretty big game. And literally some of those people, and that was, well, the one catch they made was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal catch, but I mean, obviously that was early in the season, so obviously if we were to go down the line, that would be obviously different changes throughout the whole entire time. So, but to get to the point, Miami beat Notre Dame 27-24. So, and then they end up getting beat again. So, they dropped to 0-2. But they quickly rebounded. They've won every game since. They haven't lost a game since those first two games. So, what were we thinking? Is Notre Dame overrated? Or is Notre Dame just bad? Or were those just two bad losses? Well, Miami ends up losing two games. They lost to... I can't remember who they lost to, honestly. I don't have their schedule. Actually, I got it back here. Excuse me. What am I thinking? Miami lost to Louisville and SMU. And they lost to SMU in overtime. And they lost to Louisville in regulation. So, by 3 and 6 points. 6 points in overtime to SMU and 3 points in regulation to Louisville. But Notre Dame also lost to Louisville and Miami. So, this here tells you, I think Notre Dame lost to Louisville, I can't remember, but still, regardless, they lost. Whoever they lost to. You gotta look at the big numbers here. How do you overcome a team who everyone claims is championship power versus who's a championship caliber versus Alabama, who just got their butts handed to them, just got bushwhacked by Georgia 28-7 after they beat Georgia earlier in the season 24-21. And then they'll travel to Oklahoma, which I have a funny feeling Oklahoma's... The old saying is, it's hard to beat a team twice. But this is a little different, I feel, because Oklahoma was at Alabama. And Alabama got beat by Oklahoma by 2 points, 23-21. And when now Alabama will travel to Oklahoma, and it's always hard to win at someone else's place, unless you're a really, really talented team. And if Ohio State manages to pull... wrong team. And if Oklahoma can manage to pull it off, that would be amazing. But then they got to face off with top-rated Indiana. Which either Oklahoma will prove that they're overrated and just will beat the pants off them, like Georgia did to Alabama, or it'll be a close match, which I predict it will be. Or Indiana will just trounce Oklahoma, which I don't think will happen. It'll be a close game. At this point, everything's going to be close. It'll be close like Ohio State. I mean, I don't get any idea where all this is. Now, Tulane and James Madison. Honestly, you can make the argument for Notre Dame to be in, but honestly, here's the reasons why I feel like this is part of me. Half of me says I'm glad Notre Dame's on it. The other part of me says it's not. There's two sides to this argument. The two sides of this argument is, we'll go on this side over here saying why they should not be in the argument. One, Alabama, they shouldn't be punished because they lost badly. They didn't, just because they lost badly doesn't mean they deserved it. Yeah, they lost badly earlier in the season. Then they lose badly just not too long ago. But that was the SEC title game. But then you look at, then they have 3 losses. Then they shouldn't drop way down or anything. Then you look at, then the league wins. And they're not in a league. That's the other reason why they're not in. It's because they're not in a league. And plus, Miami beat them. That's the other reason why Miami is, why the other reason Miami jumped them to get in. Because Miami beat them. Now, if Notre Dame beat Miami, we'd probably be singing a different tune right now. They'd probably be in right now. Miami probably wouldn't be in right now. But since Notre Dame's not a part of any league and they're an independent, like they've been literally their entire career, I have yet to see, a friend of mine's a Notre Dame fan. I'm not going to mention his name considering I don't have his consent. But he's a Notre Dame fan, and he tells me that there's not a single banner about football. And I tell every Notre Dame fan this. The reason why there's no football banner is because they're not part of a league. They were only part of a league 1 year, and that was during COVID when they had to play Clemson. And they got road shafted by Clemson after they beat Clemson earlier in the year. So that there tells you just how good of a team they have been. But that was then, this is now. They're 2 different programs. But now, James Madison will probably get demolished by Oregon. And Ole Miss will probably destroy Tulane all over again. It's going to be a destruction all over again. Who knows what the final score will be. Now, I don't know what the final score between Ole Miss and Georgia will be when they meet up again, if that happens. And who knows what Texas Tech and Oregon will have in store. I mean, hopefully it's a good game. Now, who knows? Nobody will ever know. I mean, I look for this to be a good game. Now, let's go on to this side of the aisle, saying the reason why Notre Dame should be in. 1. Alabama has 3 losses. They're the only team in this entire tournament that has 3 losses. The only team with 3 losses that's in the entire tournament. Then you look at strength of schedule. Not necessarily strength of schedule, but who they played. I mean, they played a lot of good teams, but how they played them. They beat them like a drum. They literally destroyed every opponent that they beat. Kind of like Ohio State, but Ohio State played Texas and Michigan. And beat Michigan and Texas. They beat Texas by a touchdown, and they beat Michigan by 18 points. That was ranked. And they also beat Illinois by 34-16. So nothing to look past that. Now, on to the other part of the argument. Ole Miss. I mean, then you get non-league games. They're not even a league. But just because they're not in a league doesn't mean they shouldn't have any rights. I mean, they've always been a part of NBC as their league thing, and they've always had ACC Duke, who won 5 games. Who lost 5 games this year. Duke ended up beating Virginia. Now, if Virginia won, I don't know if that would have changed the outcome. Virginia probably would have gotten over Tulane or James Madison. I don't know who would have... James Madison probably would have gotten in. I mean, those 2 probably would have gotten in, but I'm guessing Notre Dame probably would have taken Tulane's spot, or I'm sure, or Virginia would have gotten into Miami's spot. I'm not really sure how that would have worked, but there weren't, for a fact they're not going to put a 5-loss Duke team in. They're just going to put Miami in. But Notre Dame and BYU, 34-7. 34-7 after Texas Tech stomps BYU. They had every opportunity to try to get back into the game, and they failed to. Argument for BYU to get in over them was they're in a tournament, while Notre Dame is not. BYU is a part of a league, while while Notre Dame isn't. They're their own league. Notre Dame is its own league, while Texas A&M is actually a part of the league. Texas A&M is SEC, but we're looking at BYU. BYU is in a league, but Notre Dame's in its own. At this point, it's Normans versus Catholics. BYU is a Norman school, and Notre Dame's a Catholic school. So it's pretty much the Catholics versus everyone type of thing right now. But, literally, that's literally what this has come down to. Then now Notre Dame has also declined to even go to a bowl game due to the fact they're that pissed off. And it's really sad. That's literally what this is all about. It's so sad that they're just so furious they couldn't go to a runner-up type of thing and just say, hey, we accept it. We'll just take the invite next year and try to go on. Life goes on. We did that a few years ago. We had 2 losses, but we still took the runner-up and ran along and did a runner-up. I call it a runner-up bowl because we're not going to the it was when we started the 14 playoff. But you know what? Life goes on. And now it is time for us to move on, and we got what we want. So, with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments. If Notre Dame should have got boat rated, or if they actually deserve to be, or if you don't think they deserve to be there, or same with BYU. Tell me what you think about the 2 schools. That being said, hit the like button, hit the bell for notifications. So that being said, I'm out of here. Peace.